Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Mary Bird's Backyard Garden. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Jeff.
We're welcome back to your backyard garden.
I love my backyard. I am enjoying my backyard.
But do you like your backyard garden?
Totally love it.
Okay.
I do.
Well, then that's a good thing. What's happening?
Lots of stuff. I mean, should we start with the weather? Or should we dive right into all of our good stuff?
Oh, boy. Sure. Let's hit the weather.
What do you think is new in the garden?
We got to hit the weather.
I mean,
we had hail.
Very exciting.
We had a lot of hail.
Oh,
had a big hailstorm. You know, they said it was the worst that we've had in years.
No.
Yeah, they did actually.
Oh, man.
I mean, we're outside of Austin, but Austin got hit really hard. We got hit really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And we never get damaged. It did actually have a little damage.
We usually do not get the really bad weather.
But the wind
usually
blew.
East of us.
I know. The wind was blowing so hard, though. It was blowing the hail.
Sideways.
Yeah, it wasn't a good thing.
That was nuts.
I know. That was crazy. And it did. And it like cut right through the like trees and plants and stuff.
Did. A lot of broken trees. It did quite a bit of damage to the garden. Lots of leaves got all tattered up, and
that's life in Central Texas.
Life in Central Texas.
That's what we do, isn't it?
But it was astonishing. It was very. Came at an unexpected time. We did get a notice that we were supposed to have very high winds, but that was a different day.
Yep.
Right? From the hailstorm.
It was.
I think it kind of came out of nowhere.
Well, yeah, it did. And if any of you guys live in Texas, you kind of know the weather. So it's sunny and there's nothing in the forecast. And then late in the afternoon, you get this notice that something's happening, which is just crazy. It happens all the time. So you can't really hate to say it, you can't look at the forecast all that much because it changes really, really fast here in Texas. Especially in our area. So that was our weather stuff. The weather brought to you by Mary Bird's Backyard Garden. What else you got?
It's very subjective weather review. I'll tell you that.
It is very subjective. It's just our opinion of the weather. It works.
Oh, well, a couple weeks back, we ordered the nematodes that we talked about before.
We do. Is this part of what's new in the garden?
It's part of what's new in the garden.
Well, Mary, what's new in the garden?
Well, when you ask me at the beginning of the podcast what's going on, I always think that's what's new.
Well,
in the garden.
We do a little chatter first, and then we do the official. Here's the official, Mary. Okay. Hey, Mary, what's new in the garden?
This week we have billion new visitors in our garden. Because we have nematodes. We applied nematodes.
Beneficial nematodes.
Not
just regular nematodes.
No way. They are not the bad guys. They are the good guys.
No, and it still amazes me that you spray it. It just is weird to me.
I know.
It just doesn't. Right? I mean, because they're living things.
They're living.
And then you put them in water and spray them. Isn't that weird? That sounds weird.
It's very weird.
So anyway, go ahead.
We ordered enough to treat 1 acre because the way the sizes came, it was either going to be, we had to order multiples of a small thing to fit we don't have anywhere near an acre.
No.
But our size of property didn't fit with the size that they were selling. So we went ahead and got the 1 acre. Partially because we wanted to really fight the ants. That's one of our big goals this year.
And we got the 2-pack, right?
We got a 2-pack. The first one that we got, we ordered them from Arbico Organics. And I used to know Arbico Organics because we always got the fly predators years and years ago when we worked around horses and things like that. And so this company's been around for a real long time. And we ordered, the first one we got is, Heterora habitus, bacteriophora.
Woo!
Wow. But anyway, that's the one that specifically targets ants. and it targets asparagus beetles and bagworms and weevils and carrot weevils and all those kind of things. So we ordered those. And the second one that we ordered is another interesting one. Wow. There's no, I can't do it. Steiner Nema carpocapsae.
Good. I don't know if that's good or not, but we'll go with it.
I'm going to say that was great. This one is super good for fleas, fly larvae, termites, and cutworms.
Nice.
So that's pretty terrific. We picked those two out. Mm-hmm. We have dogs, a little flea protection goes a long way.
Yeah.
And also the fly larva.
The fly larva would be good. We don't have a ton of flies, but we do have flies. Everybody has flies.
Everybody has some flies.
Yeah.
We like to keep the backyard picked up, but still, we're not out there 24/7. Mm-hmm. So
I think it's going to do good.
Anyway, so we followed the instructions, and the packages are very small. And to think that those tiny little packages are going to cover an acre, right? That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you did get, and if you go to this website, it'll tell you all the stuff, each one.
Yes.
A
lot of information, yeah.
And then you can kind of figure out which ones you need. But it is a cool site, and it shipped pretty quick, and we'll see. We're going to have to see how the beneficial nematodes do.
I think they're going to be great.
I think they're going to be good. It was good. I was watching you out there spraying them. You looked like you were having fun.
This actual product told you how to use it in a hose-in sprayer, and that's nice. Very easy.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Very easy to do. So I was pretty... Okay. I've used another product in the past, but it was much more complicated. You had to soak overnight. You had to strain them. You had to do some other things. But this was just, let's go ahead and get out there and go.
All right.
And you do keep them refrigerated before you go ahead and use them. And the other thing that was so nice and a little unexpected is we applied them and it has rained the past 2 days, which is great because they say to keep the soil moist.
Okay.
And
perfect timing then, Mary.
Works so well.
Perfect time. Wow. So we have our nematode army is in place.
Yes.
And is ready to attack.
I'm thrilled.
All the predators that are out there trying to get our stuff. All right, cool.
But anyways, that's probably my bigger thing. We've been doing just your regular upkeep. I did finish the walkway through the little kitchen garden
Looks
so
good.
that we could kind of walk all the way through it without stepping in mud too much. What else did we do?
Pulled a lot of weeds.
Oh my!
You pulled a lot of weeds. We both did, but it was a lot of weeds. It's crazy fast that. I mean,
when you do the pocket prairies, the spring blooms are just lovely. The wine cups, the prairie primrose. Oh my gosh, they were so full this year. But then their beautiful time kind of comes to an end. You have to get in there and you got to take them out a little bit. And that they make a huge amount of biomass. It's pretty
there's
astonishing.
There's a lot of stuff, but it's looking good. We got it looking pretty good in there. I guess it never ends, but you've got it. You got it doing well out there.
The Mexican mint marigold is beginning to fill out. Our cherry sage, which is a Salvia greggii, it did its first flush of blooms, and we did the hot lips, which is very pretty because it has a red upper portion with a white little petal that comes and folds down, and it looks just like a pair of lips or something, And one of our little grandsons, that was his favorite plant. He would just come running into the yard to look for the hot lips. But anyways, so that's ready to be cut back a little, given a Chelsea chop.
Okay.
right now. Our crinum lily has bloomed, and where I planted it originally, I put it in a shady spot because it was the only place in the yard we had shade. But the problem is we can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking of moving it for next season.
Okay.
But it's going to be a pretty big endeavor because it has really grown.
Nice.
I think it's been in the ground maybe 4 years.
Okay.
So it's going to be
But yeah, I
it's
mean,
going to be a job.
if we can't see it, we
can never
be able to
see
see it
it.
so we can enjoy
I know.
it. Yeah.
And it's quite lovely.
Cool.
What else has happened in the garden?
We did some chipping and shredding.
We did, yes. And
so we have an electric one.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't go all out for the big, giant one.
No.
And it works pretty good for, small to medium-ish branches and stuff. So mostly from what we have. And it does a pretty good job. But I think if you look at all the electric ones, that's about what they do. And if you guys out there have them, you know that. I mean, if you can get the big giant ones that are, gas, and you can chop up pretty much anything. But we didn't really have a need for that. We just didn't have, we're not having branches.
I can't do a pole start anyway.
Yeah,
so.
They're hard to start. But anyway, we got our little electric one, and we chopped up some of the stuff, and that was good. We got some of that mulched up.
Actually, it really did work pretty good. I think it goes up to like maybe 1.5 inches.
It might, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got stuck. It'll get, if it's too big, it'll just get stuck. But for us, it works out well. Mm-hmm. And I think it created a lot of mulch.
It did, definitely did. Definitely
so
some
good.
pathway material.
There you go. That was a good thing. So we did that. Don't shortchange us on that, Mary.
And our wax myrtles have filled back out since we did our first trimming, so they're probably ready for another trim up, and then we'll have some more mulch for the garden paths.
There you go.
But the garden is progressing beautifully.
Mm-hmm. Looks good.
I put in okra. We have several different kinds of okra growing, and I think our son gave us seeds for a red okra, and I think I have 3 of those have sprouted. And also he gave us some Malabar spinach, which sprouted and is kind of taking off right now.
Okay.
And we have some beans. I picked a number of what did I tell you? They were dragon beans. Yeah. So they're starting to flourish right now. I'm excited about it.
I got to check my tomatoes out and see what they're doing. I got to check that out.
There. I put an Oya by your tomato.
I know. I saw that. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Appreciate for doing that.
I did.
Let's see what they do. We got everything's kind of blooming, so it looks good. It's a nice look out there in the backyard.
We're about ready. I think this week we're going to pull up the rest of the potatoes that we have growing.
Yeah.
And I am debating, really, we're a little bit late. We should have sweet potatoes in the ground already. I'm kind of debating this year if I want to grow a sweet potato or not.
Okay.
They do make such a lovely ground cover, even if you don't really make use of all the potatoes. But maybe.
All right.
We'll see.
We'll stay tuned. I'll be staying tuned as well. All right. Very good.
And yes, I think that's pretty much
pretty good for what's new.
Done.
Well,
things seem to be growing.
They
very
are.
Well.
Yeah, everything's doing good, and then we do get some rain, so that's kind of cool. What do you have for us for a topic this week?
Oh, we went to the garden center.
Did we?
We sure did.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we have one little area in our garden that we've thought about turning it more into a like a more authentic to the drier landscape. It's not really a desert look.
More southwest.
But more southwest, perhaps, Well, it's an area that doesn't get a lot of water, but sometimes it can get pretty much water. Like when it rains and things like that, as the water runs across our property, it goes into that area. It doesn't stay in there. It drains really well, but it will get a little moist at that time. So we're going to give it a try and see if we could grow some succulents and cactus.
Yes.
We already have a sage growing in there, and we have 3 color guard yucca that have flourished
Yeah, they
in
look
that
good.
area.
They do look good.
So we decided.
What did we get?
We were walking along, and I was asking Jeff if there was something in the grouping that they had available that appealed to him. I was so surprised, which I think they're quite lovely. He picked out a spineless prickly pear.
I did. I know. I've really changed in my.
I guess.
And
I guess you have.
I like them. And I think it's going to look good in there.
I think they're stunning.
Yeah, it's
they're
cool looking.
Very pretty. Very, very pretty plants. We have several of them growing in our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I never had a clue that you liked them.
Well, now you know.
No.
And we have one.
Discovered something new. We have a spineless prickly pear.
It is spineless, which is kind of cool. Has no spine. No, has no spines.
Well, it's Opuntia. Opuntia, and I think that the spineless varieties fall under Ellisania.
Okay.
And Opuntia. That's kind of funny, right?
Nice.
It is spineless, however, the prickly pears have very tiny little, they're called glochids.
Mm-hmm.
And what they are, glochids means slivers. So you still have to be very careful.
Yeah.
You don't want to run up and just grab it or anything like that. You want to wear gloves. One person that I listened to, they recommend wearing a set of gloves that are sort of rubberized that you might be able to dispose of when you're done, or putting the disposable gloves over the top of your garden gloves. And
okay.
That way, you just want to protect your hand.
And this was directed towards me because I'm the one who would go out there and do that.
those tiny little spines.
I know, but I would go out there and grab it.
Yes. And then you'll have to work at it with a tweezer.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to do that. But anyway, if you will, if you're going to hold one of the leaves or, leaf of it, if you hold it closer to the bottom, you might not have a lot of thorns there, but it has like these little dimpled or dotted surface, and you want to try to carefully place your fingers between the dots. And that way, perhaps you'll avoid the spiny nature of them. Anyways, you want to be careful because they will be irritating. It is native to North, South, and Central America. And it grows. I was astonished at this. It can grow anywhere up to 9,000 feet above sea level.
Oh, wow.
They have such a wide range of growth in the arid desert regions. And there's lots and lots of different species. But they can grow optimally, I think. Well, we're pretty close to sea level where we live, and they really grow well here. But they can grow up into the mountain regions.
Makes sense, though. I've seen them. I mean, when we're gone out west and stuff, we've seen them,
Yes. They can grow on rocky outcroppings. They could grow in very little soil, and they are pretty advantageous on the limestone base like we have here. They do pretty well there.
Good.
So
I picked a winner, didn't I?
You picked a real winner.
I love it. Good job, Jeff.
Hey, Jeffrey. They are an evergreen, and they are really one of the most important food sources in the area. The whole thing is edible. Now, I'm going to say I have no experience in how to prepare them. You you're going to have to really do research before you try to eat them. But they make a dish out of the nopales, and they also use the fruit, which is actually a berry, and it's called a tuna.
Whoa.
And that's pretty. I think that's cute.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyways, they make jam out of it. They the nopales, they will take the spines off and they make it into a salad with onion and
interesting.
Yeah. And so a very nutritious food source in our area.
Okay.
Anyway, this surprised me. I learned that it's only moderately resistant to deer browsing.
Really?
I thought they would avoid
maybe because of the
prickly
spines.
pear like crazy.
Yeah.
But deer will forage on it.
Okay.
They're so easy to propagate. It's amazing. All you do is you take one of the paddles or leaves, and if it happens to break off and it falls on the ground on a flat side of it, it will actually root out of that flat side and begin to grow.
That's cool.
Or you could alternatively take the edge where it has fallen or been cut off of the parent plant and stick it into the soil, and it'll put out its roots and start to grow.
Nice.
That way. And then let's say you have an extra large one and you decide you want, now this is all from what I learned. This is not from my experience, but it's exciting to me, is that if you have an extra large one and it looks like one of them is about ready to crack away, you could actually take a whole branch and separate it from the mother plant and root it.
Wow.
That whole entire thing will start to grow.
I like that.
Already large, which I know you really do like that.
I do like it.
You do. But it said that they're really good in zone 7A through 10B. But the thing is, it grows so high up on the mountainsides and they get cold.
Yeah.
And especially in the desert regions, it gets super cold in the winter. So some of the people that I talked to said they could probably go even lower than 7A, but to be on the safe side, that's what they recommended.
Okay.
You know, well-drained soils, it is the most important thing of all. They're moderately slow growing if they don't have any extra water provided to them. But if you want them to, grow a little faster, you can water them, but they can't sit in water.
Yeah.
Just like everything else, right?
No wet feet.
No wet feet. They're really good in the sun. And in order for you to get full amount of flowers, they said to have full sun, well-draining soil, and a lot of patience. So it might take a few years before you actually get it to flush out and flower, but they have incredible flowers.
And it's cool looking even without, I mean, they are evergreen. So they are really cool looking.
Yes.
And we didn't get a tiny one. We got like a medium-sized one, I think, right?
We did.
I guess I'd say.
I think it has 4 of the petals on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice. I mean, it's definitely something you can sit on the porch and look out and see.
Yes.
So that's good.
And it will get larger. I mean, some of the varieties I looked at online are massive.
Yeah.
Cool. So, and it depends on the variety if you have. Some of them will actually form a trunk like a tree and have the petals growing up off the ground. Some of them trail along the ground. So we'll have to see how
it'd be
ours
interesting to see how it
does.
goes.
Anyways, they are very beneficial and important for hummingbirds, birds, and all forms of pollinators. And they actually, some of the birds create their nests inside the prickly pear cactuses.
That's cool.
I know. And one one source was discussing that it is optimal for the roadrunners.
Hey, our friend the Roadrunner.
Important for the roadrunners.
Okay.
And then I ran across a post by David Attenborough, and oh my, he was talking about a variety that is a deep purple blue.
Oh, wow.
And so I went down that rabbit hole and started looking those up, right? And there are a wide number of varieties that have a purple hue to them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have huge thorns, some don't. You know, there's one variety that is specifically only located in the Big Bend National Park.
Oh.
Which I thought was super interesting.
Cool. Yeah, that is very interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, maybe we'll look for a purple prickly pear.
I would like that. That would be neat looking out there.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
So that is a little discovery on the spineless prickly pear that we found.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to seeing how it grows too.
Yeah.
Some of the ones around our community are large.
They are.
And they are starting to bloom right now with the large yellow flowers. And what I found super interesting is as it grows, I've been watching these. You could tell the difference between what's going to be a fruit and what's going to be a petal right away, because the fruit comes up and it has a circular shape to it where the petal is going to have the flat shape.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching what I would call the fruit for a long time. And it has taken it a year, maybe, to actually produce the bloom, which I'm interested. I'm just kind of interested in that.
I like it. It's going to be cool. I like our little area there. We're going southwestern in the little area there.
We are. Yeah. I like it.
I like it too. Something different, and I like it. Looks good. And it's evergreen.
I
like that. I like that part. All right. Very nice.
Well, I was beginning to wonder if...
Is it time?
I think it might be time.
Welcome to Jeff's Corner.
What do you got for us today?
Well, I have a little quiz for you, Mary. We're going to do a little Stump the Birdie. I know you get these all. You always get all these, but
they're
kind of fun
always.
Because they're, some of the stuff I know, some I don't know.
Topics.
So this time, I'm going to start you out with a what I'm going to call herb your enthusiasm. See if you're an herb guru or a parsley novice. So here you go, Mary.
Okay.
True or false? Mint is best grown in the ground alongside other herbs.
Well, only if you want to enrage your neighbors because the mint is going to gallop over to their side of the fence.
Very good, Mary. False. Mint spreads aggressively and can take over a garden.
Yes.
Now, got a little multiple choice for you. Which herb is commonly used in Italian pesto? You ready? Oregano, basil, cilantro, or sage?
Well, it might be a turkey pesto if you use sage.
Okay.
I think I know it.
Yes. What is it? Tell me.
A Genovese basil.
Basil, that's right. It's the main ingredient. Boy, I didn't know that one. I would have gone cilantro because I don't know stuff like that. But which herb is known to promote relaxation and sleep? And this one's easy. Chamomile or thyme? Chamomile. Chamomile?
It has a hard K.
Chamomile. Gotcha.
Chamomile.
It's chamomile. We know that one.
It is. And it's the little flowers. And they have a special scoop that's made solely for harvesting the flowers.
I didn't know that.
And you run the teeth through the flower heads and it'll just harvest them that way.
They're little yellow flowers, aren't they? Are they yellow?
They're daisy-like, yellow center and white petals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, So far,
do you enjoy chamomile tea?
I'm not a tea drinker personally.
Mm,
I know you
I
are.
like it.
You and our daughter are.
Mm-hmm.
Which of these herbs prefers a shady spot over full sun? A rosemary, a parsley, a cilantro, or a sage?
Well,
Who likes shady?
Quite
Who likes a shady
interesting.
spot?
It's definitely not rosemary.
Not rosemary.
Rosemary is one of the herbs that I really struggle growing. It likes it hot. It likes it dry, poor soil. Yeah, I kind of have a tough time with rosemary. So I know it's not that one.
Okay.
And the others were
Parsley, cilantro, and sage.
Now, cilantro could prefer shade, I'm thinking, but we grow cilantro in the winter, in the spring and winter where we are, because it gets too hot.
Okay.
It won't grow. Sage, maybe I'll go with the sage.
It's cilantro.
It's cilantro.
It likes a cooler, partial shade condition. So
yes.
you knew the answer.
Yes.
Got to go with it, Mary. Here's a really hard one. You should always, and I mean always, harvest your herbs in the heat of the afternoon.
There's different theories on that one.
Is there?
Actually. There is a theory out there that you do stress the plant by withholding water or waiting for the heat in order to have the most essential oils. But there is another side of the coin where they say that is not correct at all.
Okay.
What do you say?
I'm a morning. I think you got to do it in the morning.
In the morning.
After the dew dries, but before the sun gets too hot.
Okay.
That's the proper, I don't know if that's the proper time.
That's the proper time.
I'm going with that one.
Okay. I like it.
Now, Mary, what is sometimes called the pizza herb?
Oh.
Do you know?
Well, it's...
Come on.
Oregano.
Oregano. Man.
That's what we sprinkle on the pizza.
And
we planted Sicilian oregano.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got one more for you.
One more.
If you planted dill, this is like three people walk into a restaurant. So if you planted dill, fennel, and cilantro together, which of the three might bolt or go to seed first in warm weather?
Cilantro. I know.
Because it bolts quickly in the heat.
Yes, it does.
You know, you got all those. That's
cilantro.
That's pretty impressive. I got to be honest with you.
And some people, cilantro is very interesting herb because some people have a gene that makes them, their taste buds taste soap when they eat cilantro.
Oh.
But not everybody has that
interesting
taste.
Got a bonus for you.
Okay.
We're getting off the herb tree here now. Which creature is more effective pollinator for tomatoes? A bumblebee or a honeybee? And this goes back to something we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
About the tomato not really needing a pollinator so much as that it needs to be vibration. Well, a honeybee gets right in there. It'll go right on in there. So I'm going to say honeybee.
No, it's a bumblebee because they have buzz pollination.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hey, here's another one because I just got to do this because this is fun.
Okay.
Butterflies and bees can see the color red. True or false? I don't know who would know this and why you would know this.
I actually don't know the answer to that.
So bees cannot see red. Butterflies can.
Oh,
isn't that interesting?
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't have known that. So that was...
bees cannot see the color red.
They can't. They can't see the color red.
Are they attracted mostly to yellow flowers?
Well, no, I don't have a deep dive here into it, but... well, you did great. Right?
Yay! Yay! What do I win?
You win a new car and a trip to Disney World. But that was good.
How about just a trip to the garden center?
Okay. Oh, well, we'll take a trip to the garden. So I can do that. I thought that was fun. Just kind of go through that. It's kind of fun. And some of the stuff I knew, and you clearly knew it all, but some of it I didn't know.
Not.
You did. You did well. All right. I don't really have much else, I did my lawn mowing number 2 with the new lawnmower, and still works good.
It's really had a big improvement. It looks like a carpet.
Yeah, I think those
does.
double, when we bought it, it was between the one. I really wanted the one with the 2 blades. I didn't realize, it was a step up model than what I was initially looking for. But I think it makes a big difference in mulching the grass when it cuts with the 2 blades going there. So it looks good.
Too.
So far, so good with it. So we'll continue.
I'm pretty happy about it.
We shall continue on.
Okay.
And that's all I had for Jeff's Corner this week.
Jeff is making light of all the effort that he has put into the garden this week, but we've really worked hard.
We did a lot of work this week. I'm not going to lie. It looks good.
And
it's
today
looking good.
we're taking a break, which is great.
Yes.
So while we were at the garden center, we did pick out another shrub to go in sort of a difficult place where we want to block the dog's access to the fence line. And we picked out a Photinia, which the variety that we found is called Harvest Moon. And so I don't know if this is going to be important to us or not. I didn't know this when we picked out the shrub. It's a member of the rose family.
Oh.
Rosaceae. But I
think it'll be okay.
I think it'll be okay.
I think it's going to be fine. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know. Blackberries are a member of the Rosaceae, and apples. Now, I'm going to go backwards from apples. I'm not sure I don't think that's true. Apples are in the Malus, I think, family. But blackberries are in the rose family, so you can't avoid them all. But we're going to give this Photinia a try.
I think this will be okay.
A Photinia sounds very interesting because it's really good hedging plant. It has thick, lush growth. And the interesting part about this one is that when it gets the new growth coming out, say in the spring or whatever, it's going to be like a corally red color or a sort of an orangish, some people said, or it was also described as pumpkinish color. Anyways, they're a very low care type of plant. We're actually going to do a bottomless container application. So this one space that we're going to put it in, there's no way Jeff and I can dig even an inch into the soil.
Yeah, there's no digging.
So we're not even going to worry about that. We're just going to let the roots grow out the bottom of the container and have at it, But you only, theoretically, could prune it once a year, unless you want it to be really densely growth and tight. I like a wax myrtle when it's been pruned pretty good. But for this plant, you can prune up to like 3 times a year if you want to keep the growth really tight and keep the shrub really thick and full. It can get up to 15 feet tall and 12 feet wide, but that's if you just let it go. However, it's a pretty fast grower, 1 to 2 feet a year, and it is resistant. The variety we got is Harvest Moon, and it is resistant to leaf spot fungus.
Okay.
Now, this is an ornamental only plant and not to be planted anywhere where you're going to grow food sources. This plant is not toxic to dogs.
Oh,
so
that's good.
But if you have horses, you don't want Photinia anywhere near your property. Definitely want to be very vigilant about that. It's highly toxic to horses. And just, well-drained soil. We're going to put it in a spot that has some shady times of the day, but it does like full sun. And I hope that it's going to fill a need in our garden.
Yeah.
I think it will.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Very
good. Very, very good.
What else you got? Anything else?
I have only what I'm looking forward to for the upcoming week.
Well, pray tell, what are you looking forward to?
And yourself, do you?
I don't have anything else.
Not anything else for this time. Well, we're heading into June, heading into the hot weather months here, and I am so appreciative of the rain. And actually, the rain and the past few days that we've had have extended our zonal geranium beauty a little bit further into the summer than usually does happen. Mm-hmm. It has been hot, but it hasn't been as hot as past years. I don't feel like it hasn't been
too bad.
Yeah, and it cools off in the evening too. But your zonal geraniums, we go to the store and we see them, they're lush and they're blooming, and we just call them geraniums. But they're actually pelargoniums, and so they grow. They don't like it to be so hot. So what you want to do for the hot months is to move your container. If you grow them in a container, that's nice because you move it into dappled shade. Maybe it can only get a little bit of morning sun and shadier throughout the rest of the day. And what you want to do, and so I clustered all of ours into one container, and I have it tucked away at the back of our porch. Hopefully it won't get too much sun on it. But when you go to water your zonal geraniums, you don't want the water to touch the leaves. You only want to let the water go to the soil. And the other thing is, when you water the soil, you want to saturate your soil, and then it'll drain out of your container. You want to wait until your container is approaching dryness. And when that happens, you want to soak it really good again and repeat that cycle instead of giving it a cup of water every day. You don't want to do that. So you always want to check to see how moist it is. And that keeps the roots, gets them lots of air and everything like that. You always want to remove the yellowing leaves. And if the flowers have finished doing their blooming, get them taken off the plant. Anyways, then for the zonal geraniums are very, very hungry plants. So in the springtime, when we first put them out, they're kind of like a shoulder season plant. So they're going to perform really well in the spring and really well in the fall. And you want to give them a good flower food in the spring up until May. And then when it's super hot, you're going to really focus on the water. And then in August, what you're going to do is give them a Chelsea chop.
Hey, I like it.
And we're going to let them, again, reflush with new growth. And you'll give them a good feed in September. And you'll be able to go really far into the fall season.
Okay. Cool.
And what I did last year, I was very excited about this. I actually brought one of my geraniums in and I grew it on a windowsill that faces west. And it has lived and done really well this spring in the yard. So I'm going to give that a try with the others.
Okay.
Or you can look up ways to overwinter the roots.
Oh, nice.
Get them back out there in the spring and start the cycle all over again.
Well, that's pretty cool.
This is the time for you to find a way to protect your zonal geraniums.
Okay. The old zonals.
The zonals.
All right. Very good.
And just look out there, get out there and plant your hot weather plants. You did plant was it a red hot poker? Is that the one that you put out in the garden?
I can't remember now.
You put it in our southwest area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have to see if we can go back and look
check that out. Yeah.
Well, but I encourage everyone to find ways to enjoy your garden and stay out of the heat.
Absolutely.
Do some good things.
Call morning gardeners.
Morning gardeners. Absolutely. Look for ways to decrease your workload in the hot summer months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mary.
Oh, thank you, Jeff.
That was very good.
Totally enjoyed Stump
this
the
was a
Birdie.
fun one. That was a fun I can't stump you, but it was fun anyway. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody joining us here, and hope you guys get out in the garden and enjoy yourselves, and
absolutely
take some time to sit on the porch or wherever you are and just look at it. That's a fun part too.
It was astonishing this morning as we were sitting on the porch. Our bird feeder was covered
It was full
with birds. I don't think we've ever seen that many birds.
There's been a lot of birds, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to watch them and the lizards running through the grass and road runners and who else. I don't know what else runs through there anymore, but it's kind of cool though.
It's pretty terrific.
Yeah, it's neat to be able to sit back there and just enjoy it like that. So, again, we appreciate you guys joining us, and
thank you.
Hope to see you guys here next week, same time, same place, here at Mary Bird's Backyard Garden.
Happy gardening.
Happy gardening, everyone.